Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrexit, Brexit Britain, a country who decided it needed to get away from itself. So Britain decided it was going to get a dinghy and sail to France and make its way across to Europe and get to Iraq for safety. And also, guys, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me. A special thanks here to everyone who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up. So thank you so much for that. I'll go for all the messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So we'll start in the US, right? Obviously, we've seen the devastation from the tornado, which has just been, I've seen some more of it this morning, and Kentucky is just completely devastated. I mean, they were very close on 100 people, so far confirmed dead. So it's just absolutely, when I tell you the devastation, if you haven't seen it yet, just have a look and see what nature is really capable of. I mean, we all know what nature's capable of, but when you see it in this sense, you couldn't believe that something like this could possibly happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that, for you to have avoided this, right, you'd have to be living underground, right, because anything, right, that was above ground has been destroyed. Everything. When I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. This tornado just ripped up everything in its way. It took no prisoners at all. Absolutely none. No prisoners at all. Do you know what I mean? So we all of us, right, have to give our thoughts to the people, right, who have really been caught up in this, because they are really suffering, and I hope that the government steps up and really gets in there and gets these people, the help that they need immediately, because they need immediate help, because they've got nothing left in their life, so they need immediate help. But on the other side of the US, I don't know if you've seen that the January 6th committee, right, have been investigating the incident from the January 6th insurrection, right, when the Donald Trump supporters, right, led by Antifa, because I was there, I was like, because remember they were saying it's Antifa, and you've got to know that I was there. I was one of the ones up front. I was calling all the Trump supporters. I was like, come on, let's go, take over the Capitol. That's how stupid these people are, right? Yeah, so as I was saying, right, it was the Trump supporters, right, not Antifa or Black Lives Matter, even though I was there representing Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Okay, with a MAGA hat. Right, anyway, right, so on the day, right, they've just released all the text messages, yeah, from if you see the text messages from the Fox News hosts, all of the big wigs, right, the guys, right, that are on prime time, was like Laura Ingrams and all them lot. You know how stupid Laura Ingrams is, right? But all them lot, right, they was all texting the president, right, and the president's people to say, listen, you need to get these people to stop this shit, right? Tell them to stop. Tell them to go home on the day. This is going to ruin your legacy. This is what all them were saying to him. Even Don Jr. was getting in there with the text messages saying, you know what, Dad, Father, you need to tell these people to go home. Tell them to stop. This is wrong. And now the Fox host is like, yeah, well, what we saw people look like they was on a holiday walk going through the Capitol building. Very respectful. Beating police officers with flagpoles. A US flagpole. Beating police officers with it. Spraying them with bear spray, hitting them with fire extinguishers. But you know what? These people was peaceful. That's what the Fox host is. You think to yourself, seriously, right? You saw what was happening. You was even texting important people in the government to tell them to stop all of this, right? But to your supporters, right, the ones who the people who are just uneducated, to them, you're now saying to them, oh no, on that day, it was Antifa. Antifa stirred up all that trouble, and Black Lives Matter. That's who that was. It wasn't Trump support. It wasn't MAGA. MAGA wouldn't do that. No. As you saw, the MAGA demonstration was completely peaceful until the clash with the Black Lives Matter supporters, right? And then they went and they must have been trying to stop the Black Lives Matter supporters, right, from attacking the Capitol police officers. That is what was happening. That's how Fox News is coming across. This is what Fox News are on. Do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, all the text. If you see the text messages, it's unbelievable. Right, and the way how these people, right, are on prime time TV, right, winding up the underclass, right, because remember, these guys, they're all multi-millionaires, right, and they're just winding up, all your Tucker Carlson, right, one of the worst, right, this guy's one of the worst hosts anywhere, right, even went to court and just, his defense in court was, well, if you believe what I say, then you're an idiot. That was his defense, and the judge was just like, something, I'm going to find this guy not guilty because something, like he's true. If you believe what he says, then you're stupid. That's basically what the judge said. Do you know what I mean? In the Tucker Carlson case, do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what? Because he just said, well, I lie a lot. And I'm embellishing. I'm making the truth much. I'm making like these lies much bigger. And if you believe that, then right. So he got found not guilty on that. Do you know what I mean? Right. But these guys, seriously, these Fox hosts, unbelievable how these people, right, have got their hands on a lot of like your Trump supporters, right? And these guys are they're proper behind Trump, even after like an insurrection. Right. You've even got some of these people who have been on the insurrection, who have been voted into powerful jobs. And you think to yourself, seriously? Right? You try to violently take over a country, right? Not just any country, right? The USA, right? That is like a violent insurrection in Great Britain, right? These things should be punished with heavy sentences for every single person that was there. Right? And if it was Antifa or Black Lives Matter, it would be. You would see sentences that represent exactly what these people have done. Right? But we're seeing stupid ass sentences for these people. But which is, for me, is just ridiculous. Right? Trump, his sons, his daughter, right, and all his top team should have all been rounded up, and they should all be in federal custody for what they done on January the 6th, but they're not. Right, because you imagine if that was Obama. If that was Obama right now, right, would be in fucking Guantanamo Bay. Okay, but no, he's not. But no, Trump's not. He's in fucking Mar-a-Lago. After pulling off something like this. It's this, it just shows you, do you know what I mean? This, right, I don't understand, how the far right and the right wing can get away with all this shit. Why is the left held to such a higher standards? Much higher standards were held to on the left. What anything someone on the left, right? It's the level is it's always at level 10. But these guys can do whatever they want. It's just the lowest level wherever. Anyway, let's go back to the UK. Right? I don't know if you saw Sir Lewis Hamilton, right? The dignity, right, in the way how he took what they had done to him, right? Didn't show the emotion that he really should be showing, because a lot of people would be shouting and screaming and cussing, throwing their helmet and chucking their steering wheel and all them things. But Sir Lewis Hamilton, right, you have to say, what a fucking role model. Right? Because you know what? He's gone up, right? He shook everybody's hand. He hugged who he needed to hug, right? And you know what? He knew to himself, you know something? This is Max Verstappen's first ever championship. First ever time he's won it, right? So you know what? I'm not going to take that moment away from him by crying like a fucking little baby, right? Because I've just been cheated out of this. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to show the dignity, right? And I'm going to show you why I'm a real champion. And that's what he done. He showed people, you know what? This is how this shit is done. Okay, you know, if Mercedes decide, you know what, you know, we're going to take this further and take it to the appeal courts, which if they do, they're going to win. They've got no, the race director had no reason to do what he done, right? So they're going to win just on normal rules, because look, I don't know if you know anything about F1, but just let me explain something to you really quickly, right? It's F1 is all about tyres, okay? It just so happened that one team decided, you know what, we're going to bring our man in, put him on new tyres, right? The other team decided, actually, by the rules of F1, right, we know that this race is now going to end under the safety car, so we don't need to pull our man in for fresh tyres. We don't need to do that. And besides, he's got a massive lead, right? And because of that massive lead, right, even if they have to do one lap, the other guy can't catch him because there's 5 cars in between. Okay? Right? But something else happened, and all of a sudden those 5 cars was told to get out of the way and let these 2 race, basically. One's got fresh tyres, one's got fucking tyres that are as old as Anne Widdecombe's virginity. I don't know where that came from. Right? Yeah, the one's got really old tyres, right, and one's got fresh tyres. So obviously, in this type of race, the one with fresh tyres is gonna win, because like the fresh tyres is gonna, you know, with the old tyres, it's difficult to corner. Right? You can't corner with old tyres. So that's what happened. But Lewis Hamilton took it with real dignity and said, you know what, that's how shit is done. Anyway. So today, yeah, is a very important day for Boris Johnson, our clown knuckle-headed leader, right? Because he's got to put a vote through, yeah, for the new restrictions that he wants to bring in for this new Omicron variant, right? So here's the thing, right? That I'm looking at this because a lot of the Tories are going to rebel. I don't know if you saw Keir Starmer's speech last night, but Keir Starmer's basically saying, well, you know what, we're going to support the government, right? Because someone has got to be a grown-up, right? But what gets me, right, about the Brexiters and these Tories that are going to go against Boris Johnson today, well, I don't know if they're going to go against him yet because the vote hasn't happened yet, right? But and you know, just before I say that, yeah, and you know that apparently someone actually has died now from this Omicron that Boris Johnson announced yesterday, or we don't know whether it's off or with yet, but you know, they like to confuse us with both of those things. But anyway, right, so yeah, so what is really getting me now, what is getting to me now, right, is the fact that they've taken away our freedom of movement, right? I don't have the vote for to take away our freedom to protest, right? I think they've got that, haven't they? I'm sure they've got that. So it's our freedom of movement, our freedom to protest, our right to protest, right? And they're also messing around with the human rights bill. I mean, you know, think of it this way, yeah. Who needs human rights anyway? What kind of people would need human rights? Humans. Yeah. So they're messing around with the human rights bill, right? So that's our freedom of movement, right? The human rights bill, right, and our freedom to protest, all gone, right? But these Tories today, right, are going to argue the point of, you know, basically about mask wearing and, you know, and social distancing and, you know, maybe a lockdown and all these type of things. right? And think to yourself, are you not getting this shit twisted? You've taken away our fucking freedom of movement. Who cares if I have to fucking stay in my house for a couple of fucking weeks? You've taken away our freedom of movement, right? And I'll tell you what really annoys me. What really annoys me, right? The fact that these people, right, are so happy, right, that they've taken away a lot of the future of the youngsters of this country. They're so happy that they've done that. You see them, hey, yay, Brexit is going so fucking well, right? You know, understand, again, right, you know, bilingual kids, right, are going to be much more, they're going to be the brightest children out there. If your children are bilingual, right, they speak 2 or 3 different languages. But you know, you've got a lot of in this country, so you've got a lot of people, yeah, who they on the street they're speaking English when they're outside their front door. They speak English, right? But once they get behind that front door, they speak in a different language. They might speak Italian, French, German, Bangladesh, or you know, from Africa, you know. But you know, you've got to understand about those type of children, yeah, their brains are going to be much bigger than your normal child because they're bilingual, so they're taking much more information, right? Now, our children in this country, right, you know, now, right, are going to find it much more difficult. You've set them even further behind because other children from the EU and places like that, they're going to be much more worldly than our children. So you've got to understand, yeah, we've already got a lot of children in this country, right, whose parents might not have been born here, right, but the kids might have been born here, but their parents speak their home language to the children at home, and the children, right, speak English, right, and I'm telling you, it makes them much brighter. And already, right, we've already got that problem. So you've put another barrier in front of the youngsters in this country by pulling them out of the EU, right, when they really deserve to be in the EU. You've got to understand that, right? But if you just look at like, yeah, you know, because obviously, you know, a lot of these Tories, you know, they often put their foot in their mouth, right, when they're speaking, and they say stupid stuff, and then they reveal who they are. And I often think to myself, who the fuck could vote for these people? Like when you see Jacob Rees-Mogg, when Jacob Rees-Mogg said, like, you know, that the people in Grenfell Tower were stupid for listening to the firemen, right? You know, where a lot of people, yeah, they listen to authority, right? And if authority says to them, listen, you know what, yeah, don't leave your house, your flat, right? The fire brigade have got the fire under control. Stay in your premises, you'll be safe, right? There's a lot of people who said, well, you know something, yeah, no, when I saw that, I'd be out of there anyway. You know, the smallest fire, I'm taking me and my family, we're getting outside because that's the safest place to be, right? That's how a lot of people would think, because, you know, and they will go against the authority in that way. But a lot of people will listen to the authority and they will literally just stay where they are, right? You know, unfortunately, they got the wrong information on that night, just completely the wrong information, right? But you see, someone like Jacob Rees-Mogg, for him to come out and said what he said, for me was just like, you know what, there's something wrong with these people. Right. So you see, the mask slipped for him there. Like when he said that, you know, talking about the fishing crisis, when he said, well, you know, the British fishing, they're having a jolly good time in Britain, right? You know, because the mask slipped. Do you know what I mean? So they say something stupid, but they say something that they really mean, right? Just like Andrew Rosendale, when Andrew Rosendale said, you know what, right? The people, the lowest earners, right? They don't need that £20 uplift. What do they need it for? What do they need it for? It's just something they want. It's not something they actually need. Just something they want. You know? And then you ask them about that MP second jobs. Oh, whoo, you know. Oh, well, these are MPs. They're human beings with, you know, and they have families to look after. Okay, so they need their second jobs because, you know, they're human beings with families to look after. See, the mask slipped. You see, because he doesn't think, yeah, that his Romford constituents are human beings. No, right? You know, any of them, any of them that are on universal credit, as far as he is concerned, Right? They don't need it. What the hell would they need it for? What are they going to go and do? Spend it on crack, heroin, and cigarettes. Right? This is how these people think, because the mask slips. But anyway, right, I'll tell you about some Brexit now. I don't know if you've seen MP Graham Stewart. He was out defending Boris Johnson about, you know, about the parties and all these type of things. And what does this man do? He brings it straight back to Brexit. Right? Everything with these guys is Brexit. You're picking on Boris Johnson because of Brexit. Right? You know, it's all the Remainers. This is him. Right? I believe he's the MP for Beverley. Right? This is him. Right? You're picking on Boris Johnson because because he got Brexit done. Right? I'll tell you something. Yeah? Some of these MPs are really stupid, and I don't know how these people actually vote for these people. Right? You know, I look at these people, I think to myself, seriously? These people are as thick as two short planks. You're out, you know, because everything Boris Johnson does, these guys are so far down the rabbit hole. They're so far down, right, that everything Boris Johnson does, they have to defend, no matter what it is. Even when Boris Johnson says there was no parties up in here, right, and the next thing we find out there's more than 7 parties up in there, and we find out all the departments are at it as well, right? But Boris Johnson first said, oh no, he first denied it all. And now look, now it's all coming out, right? But these guys are still out defending Boris Johnson. You think to yourself, seriously, that's what Brexit is to you? That's what Brexit is to you? That you're going to sell your soul to the clown? You know, because, you know, if you sell your soul to the devil, that gives you a lot of riches. If you sell your soul to the clown, that makes you stupid. And all Brexiters are stupid, right? Just check out anything that Graham Stewart said about defending Boris Johnson, and then you see for yourself, these motherfuckers are really stupid, right? The UK has been handing out fishing licenses straight to the French, right? Because you know what? That's the only reason why the French haven't been blocking up shit. Because right now, yeah, they probably haven't got enough boats, right? That's going to be blocking up, because I think it's over 93% of the licenses have gone out now, right? So the UK's just been handing them out. Please stop, right? Because we're so motherfucking weak, and you're beating the economy up. You're fucking us up. Right? That's how the UK is crying to the French, right? You know, over a third of UK businesses are not ready for the new trade, right, that's going to be coming in, I think, starting in January, innit? They're not ready for the new system yet. And you know something? They're never going to be, because most of them have gone bankrupt, and if they haven't gone bankrupt, then as soon as these new charges come in, right, they're going to go bankrupt. Right? And that is down to you dirty, stinking Brexiters who should have known better than to vote for a clown, a knuckle-headed fool. Right? You put in charge of this country, no wonder the motherfuckers going down the toilet with sewage all up in our rivers. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.